A clueless boy awakens in a dangerous realm of monsters. A boy determined takes his sister to a religious mass, sparking curiosity. He remembers his family's obsession with the Udamon faith, eager to keep the girl safe. The boy details the bizarre rituals, hoping the stories highlight its absurdity. He talks about the game Dalmatians, believing it mocks real faiths. They wait for the event while the girl grows more intrigued by Udamon's ideas. Suddenly, the boy wakes up at an unexpected gathering, confused and dazed. A figure claims he's a god, brought to life by prayer, leaving him stunned. Confusion fills the air as they talk about being reincarnated, baffling him. He struggles with the idea of dying and coming back, wanting answers. Amy, the translator, introduces him as Tody, making him feel misplaced. The leader insists he uses his powers against a rising heretic threat. They present Miss Wahora, a shining icon of their beliefs. Curiosity rises, and he wonders if their faith holds any truth. He doubts whether they take this seriously, seeing it as a joke. Amy defends their sincerity, claiming their god saved the continent. They emphasize the holy book, explaining its crucial role in their faith. An anthology comic brings a quirky twist, raising more questions. A lively song bursts forth, everyone joining in with energy. An elder credits Miss Wahora for their peaceful existence. The village shares stories of improved health, highlighting their faith's benefits. The boy looks around skeptically, doubting the villagers' genuine happiness. A monstrous noodle creature suddenly appears, causing panic. Amid the chaos, leaders urge calm, calling for prayer and meditation. The boy questions the god's power, unsure about divine help. A mysterious energy emerges from him, taking on a known shape. A powerful attack comes from the figure, neutralizing the threat. The boy realizes Miss Wahora might be a demon, sparking panic. The crowd, unaware of the truth, rejoices as the danger vanishes. The mysterious woman approaches the brother, relief washing over her cheerful face. She questions him for not meditating, hinting at the power of prayer. The religious figures urge him to dive deeper into the Waho Waho traditions. Sensing the danger, the brother decides this religion spells trouble and makes a break for it. He runs hard, refusing to support a demon-led faith, and takes a moment to catch his breath. Desperate to return home, drowsiness hits him, feeling eyes on his back. Startled awake, he sees Mio's worried face, realizing he dozed off again. Still in shock, Mio scolds him for causing her concern. Mio mentions a one-eyed girl helped him, leaving him puzzled. To his surprise, everyone seems to follow Waho Waho now, making him question if his world has changed. A boy taken aback by the strange Waho Waho beliefs looks to Mio for answers. Mio eagerly shows off the vibrant banner of the Waho Waho religion. Accused of rudeness, the boy insists he has no ties to the Waho Waho followers. In disbelief, the boy ponders the oddities of his situation. Together, they decide to investigate the Waho Waho grounds for clarity. The grand religious center of Waho Waho leaves them both in awe. The boy questions the peculiar worship practices with a puzzled expression. They compare the strange idol before them with the myths they've heard. Mio's intrigue intensifies, while the boy remains cautious, hiding the full story. Particular painting brings a startling revelation to the boy. The boy is concerned as he sees Miss Wahora's summoned god resembles their world. Feeling taunted, the boy notes the strange practice of toading, where followers fall asleep mid-ritual. Overcome with stress, the boy senses a headache forming and suggests they leave. At the Waho Waho colony, the boy is stunned when his sister claims this is now their home. Disoriented, the boy notices his parents in unusual clothing, doubting his own eyes. His parents assert that the boy's room is now transformed into the Waho Waho men's rose garden. Inside, he finds a simple bunk bed set up, questioning its supposed grandeur. His parents proudly declare their full commitment to Waho Waho after getting certified. Accepting the truth, the boy acknowledges their home is now a church and apologizes to Mio. With resolve, the boy realizes he must alter the cult's future to save his family. Determined, the boy prepares to act against Waho Waho, fearing it will engulf his life. He envisions a bold resolution, to topple the cult by becoming their god. The boy wonders if any existing travel methods might return him to his world. Realizing it's too risky, the boy decides against endangering himself for a way back. Trying various approaches, he decides to nap in public, searching for a solution. Tired and annoyed, the boy decides to clear his mind by getting a drink. An idea suddenly strikes him. Maybe this drink is the key he's been seeking. Feeling empowered, he boldly confronts the statue of Waho Waho, ready for change. The boy squares up with the statue, realizing it's not just an idol, but the challenge he faces. He feels the weight of the cult's influence and knows he needs to act fast to break free. A boy finds himself summoned with a condition, to serve Miss Wahora. Learning about two gods complicates the teachings, adding to the boy's stress. There's a rush to spread the Waho Waho religion, leaving little room for new ideas. The boy sees the missionary efforts hinge on pushing the religion aggressively. He accepts his role as subject god, aiming to use this as a chance for change. Wahora might seem smug, but their group remains small and under pressure. The boy feels cautious, curious about how Wahora will use her godly status. Seeing religion turn commercial shocks the boy, highlighting clear exploitation. He learns about the church selling books with collectible cards to followers. The boy faces the reality of dealing with devoted fanatical followers. A speaker claims her devotion is about duty, and an offering to all humanity. The boy observes Amy's strong reverence for Wahora, despite mixed motives. He questions if extracting money from villagers crosses ethical lines. A mysterious figure announces a new event, adding to the boy's doubts. As the ritual tension builds, the boy wonders if it hides a secret agenda, though it feels like a festival. The ritual aims to unite all believers under one shared purpose. A large crowd of believers shows the religion's reach, even amid questions. The boy asks if this gathering is true faith or just indulgence, questioning its intent. The crowd hears today marks a major day for their religion, starting a new tradition. They reveal a huge statue built from donations, celebrating followers' support. A shadowy figure gives a heavy message, talking about leaving the village. Tears fill everyone's eyes as the thought of leaving hits hard amid cult demands. A woman thanks the crowd for keeping the shrine going and making payments. Everyone closes their eyes, taking part in a weird ritual about imagining drilling into the statue. The crowd starts chanting, showing their devotion to Miss Wahora in full force. The speaker tells everyone to see the statue as a long-term faith symbol. Amy looks thoughtful as the strange Waho Devil Thunder form comes out. To cap off the ceremony, statue pieces are offered for those buying the holy book in bulk, mixing faith with commerce. The group feels the weight of keeping everything quiet as they head to the next village. They move fast, planning to reach their destination in half a day, not slowing down like a slime would. A boy thinks about the troubles they might face on this walk, wondering what dangers lurk ahead. Wahora's strange gestures on his shoulders make the boy uneasy, uncertain of her intentions. Even though Wahora's power seems comforting, the boy can't shake his doubts about their safety. Calling Wahora a demon causes worry, but laughter soon lightens the tense atmosphere. Amy warns them to keep Wahora's true nature hidden to prevent scaring off their supporters. The boy thinks about the fine line between gods and demons, seeing a possible chance for leverage. He agrees to keep Wahora's secret, understanding the powerful roles they all play. The boy suggests that Wahora should look the part of a divine figure for their plan to work. Despite worries about her nature, belief in Wahora's charm offers them a sense of toughness. They reach a small cabin, offering a brief break from their long journey. Inside, they talk about their safety, feeling that Wahora's unique traits protect them from demons. The boy, curious about their talk, learns Wahora communicates in a strange way. Amy shows how Wahora uses electric waves to speak, as the boy tries to grasp her odd language. Questions about how their group started come up, showing the bond formed through shared stories. The boy, surprised by the new religion, wonders how much it really influences them. Amid fears of the religion's risks, the boy thinks about using his potential powers without royal help. While Wahora rests calmly, the boy considers tapping into the new abilities he's yet to explore. Night falls as they prepare to sleep, taking stock of their limited supplies. The boy is half awake, startled by a sound, and calls out to Wahora for answers. A monstrous serpent appears suddenly, devouring Wahora and Amy, leaving the boy in shock. Desperation sets in as the boy hears an urgent voice telling him to scream, wondering why. His first barrier attempt doesn't hold, but the voice pushes him to give it another try, trusting in himself. Despite his uncertainty, the boy's actions release an odd energy, knocking the serpent off balance. Encouraged to continue, the boy hits the right pitch, making his barrier stronger. With a burst of power, the boy repels the threat, feeling newfound strength surge inside him. Reflecting on his achievement, the boy asks Wahora if she gave him this power, amazed by what he can now do. After all the tension, Wahora jokingly wears a fake mustache, catching the boy completely off guard. A boy stands before Miss Wahora, startled by her sudden appearance. To his surprise, Miss Wahora falls asleep, leaving the boy to wonder about the reach of her powers. Watching her rest, the boy can't help but find humor in her unusual way of finding comfort. He turns to Amy, still amused, and asks about Wahora's unexpected presence. Amy fixes her gaze on him, curious about his mysterious third eye. The boy learns more about Wahora's unique race, sparking a new curiosity within him. As rumors swirl, the boy confronts the possibility of belonging to Wahora's race. The thought hits him hard. He fears for his family if his identity changes. Determined, the boy decides to delve deeply into the Waho documents. He steadies himself with a reminder that he's back in reality, ready for his mission. Suddenly, the boy finds himself waking up, tied to a chair and filled with panic. Mio is there, explaining how his disappearance caused a wave of worry. In their desperation, they tried many rituals, nearly leading to chaos. Relieved, the boy reassures Mio, noticing his third eye has vanished. Driven by curiosity, he asks Mio to show him the secrets within the Waho book. Mio, eager to share, leads the boy with excitement to reveal something special. On their way, the boy notices strange changes in their home, taking him by surprise. They inch closer to their destination, walking past walls lined with bizarre portraits. Ahead, the room buzzes with followers engaged in unusual rituals with intensity. The frantic energy overwhelms the boy, but Mio urges him to stay calm. Eerie noises echo as they observe attempts to reach Miss Wahora in another realm. Avoiding the chaos, they contemplate the complications of connecting with Wahora. Mio surprises the boy by revealing personal artifacts he believed were lost. With excitement, Mio presents a special book, drawing the boy's curiosity about its purpose. She opens a family album, and the boy grows concerned over potential magical shifts. Exploring the images inside, the boy wonders what subtle changes might have occurred. Looking at a painting, memories surface of his past challenges with Wahora. Suddenly, he realizes the snake in the painting mirrors his own struggles. The boy suddenly finds himself in a warm, strange place and starts searching for a way out, feeling uneasy. He emerges with a gasp back into a familiar setting, his mind racing from the bizarre journey he just experienced. Awake and startled, the boy is greeted by someone familiar who mentions it's breakfast time, but he's left with more questions swirling in his mind. The boy learns the strange experience was part of a Wahahu ritual meant for communication, but the odd methods only increase his concern. Studying a photo, the boy spots changes and realizes he can track the effects on his world through these images, giving him a stronger resolve. A traveler named Nera shows up at the slime village, asking for a favor right off the bat. The travelers, including a boy, ask for a place to rest, clearly worn out from their long journey. Nera kindly offers the tired pair a ride, but they graciously decline, appreciating the gesture nonetheless. As they head to the village, they're hit by how otherworldly their surroundings feel. Once a melting pot of races, the village by the volcano now mainly houses slimes. The boy figures the remote location is perfect for their quiet religious outreach. Amy is set on spreading their faith, focusing on her mission despite all the chaos. The boy decides to step in if things spiral, hoping to keep their beliefs on track. They run into a playful poison slime, which leads to some laughs about its odd behavior. The slime assures the boy it's safe to touch, easing his fears. Despite the laughs, they hurry to the inn, urgency in their steps. The boy finally relaxes in his room, but notices Miss Wahora sleeps in a really strange way. The slime thanks them for visiting, showing genuine warmth. They explain that village law demands kindness toward guests. This tradition of kindness goes way back to the first slime that lived there. The boy soon realizes that spreading Waho religion might be tough with the existing slime deity. Amy steps up, introducing their group as the village's new saviors. Her bold claim throws the villagers into a state of confusion. Amy pressures Nera the slime to join them, cranking up the tension even more. Nera objects, struggling to understand the sudden shakeup in their beliefs. Frustrated, Amy hurls some old-school insults, her temper barely in check. Nera defends their beliefs, but Amy insists they're being misled. Amy tells Nera her actions are all about saving them, hoping to win them over. Her words cause a stir, with those watching now questioning her motives. Suddenly Nera faces the accusation that Amy might just be a fake god. Caught off guard by this claim, Amy and someone nearby exchange shocked looks. In an unexpected twist, chaos breaks loose as Nera morphs into a new form, leaving everyone in awe. Nera's shift to a humanoid shape blows the onlookers away, sparking even more questions. Their sudden transformation stirs up questions about mysterious powers at play. Seeing what many believe is a miracle, the villagers start to wonder about Waho's real strength. A triumphant cheer erupts as the astonishing event unfolds, even the deadly toxin disappears. As the miracle reaches its peak, some hooded figures proclaim their teachings will rescue everyone, hinting at a coming religious showdown. A woman strides into the room, apologizing for interrupting the group. The scene shifts to masked figures performing a wild ritual, adding to the chaos. Sasha claims she's expelling demons, holding up a strange morning star as proof. She announces Togin as the name of their god, sparking interest. As a proud Togin clergy member, Sasha piques the curiosity of the onlookers. Amy reflects on the grim history of the Togin religion, calling it both dour and evil. A rival group confronts the Togin followers, boasting their Waho beliefs. The Waho group promises joy to the village, insisting the others leave. Tempers flare as claims of false happiness are thrown around as false prophecy. Sasha, insulted, snaps back at the small group's nerve in challenging Togin. Her followers apologize as Sasha vents frustration with harsh words, drawing curious looks. Someone questions Sasha's daring stance, while she dismisses other beliefs as evil. A contest is proposed to settle the religious debate, focusing on influence over the villagers. They agree. The group with more villagers' support in a week proves their god as supreme. Both sides accept the challenge with confidence, eager to prove their faith. Their easy agreement sets the stage for a week-long clash to win the villagers' hearts. Doubts rise about labeling the rival religion as evil, warning it's a bold gamble. As night falls, they awkwardly share the same inn, intensifying the rivalry. The morning breaks, and both groups target the village chief with their plans. Promises of good fortune set the tone for their persuasive efforts. The Togin religion promises top-notch physical salvation to win over the villagers. Their plans include providing large-scale food aid and economic support. Someone questions a familiar slime-like figure, who reveals themselves as Nera. The crowd is taken aback by Nera's peculiar appearance. Nera credits their transformation to Miss Wahora's miracle. Eagerly, the villagers gather to see Miss Wahora's miracle for themselves. Miss Wahora readies herself to show the miracle as villagers look on with anticipation. Struggle becomes visible as Miss Wahora seems to falter, worrying the crowd. Miss Wahora struggles, creating a stir that ripples through the crowd like a wave of uncertainty. Suddenly, members of the Togin religion step in, attempting to calm the scene and restore order. With their help, the village chief steadies himself, easing some worries but leaving others on edge. Grateful for his recovery, the chief expresses his appreciation, yet the sense of rivalry continues to simmer in the village. The book flips open, showing a crucial moment from the third day of a big showdown, leaving him deep in thought. A flyer for a collaboration event hints at a possible loss and the long road they must travel. Memories of better days flood in as he sees the importance of Togen in the group. With resolve, he decides to fight back against what he sees as the silly Togen religion. Voices of criticism rise, noting people don't appreciate Miss Wahora's charm enough. Proud voices speak up about the rising influence of Togen religion, ready to defend it. Hypocrisy is called out as people voice doubts about the fairness of their methods. Togen promises rewards that sound more like vacation giveaways, making folks skeptical. It's explained that getting to Togen's hometown means passing tests after death. Comparisons to other religions show how complicated Togen's teachings really are. A joyful shout declares that being with Miss Wahora feels like pure happiness. The crowd buzzes with excitement, feeling a wave of belief. Someone's confused, asking if their excitement is just plain fanaticism. A skeptic speaks up, questioning if the religion provides any real-world benefits. The talk turns to existential doubts about whether life is just practice for the afterlife. Nara beams with newfound happiness and power thanks to Wahora. Suspicion grows as someone warns the group not to be tricked. The idea surfaces that simpler beliefs might attract more followers. People accuse the doubters of being under devilish influence. Whispers of Miss Wahora's power to talk with the underworld create both awe and worry. An odd song breaks out, causing surprise and confusion among the crowd. Despite the weird lyrics, the crowd gets drawn in, both amused and curious. A voice cries out with a warning of dark times, scaring some in the group. Worry spreads as Miss Wahora's growing powers make the crowd uneasy. Someone starts a chant about Wahora's charm, trying to lift the mood. Swayed by Wahora's striking presence, the crowd chants with enthusiasm. The energy rises as more people join in for the ritual celebration. The joyful excitement takes over, and everyone is eager to join the party. Mr. Tody uses humor to lighten the mood, easing some tension in the crowd. Excitement builds as everyone waits to see what Miss Wahora will do next with her powers. But then, Miss Wahora looks pale and unsure, making the crowd worried about her condition and what might come next. The protagonist worries they can't match Miss Wahora's power and charm, feeling small as they face the challenge. Even without Wahora, they push past negativity, holding tight to their beliefs and determination. As the crowd gathers, chaos unexpectedly breaks out, catching everyone off guard. They realize how much they miss Miss Wahora, wishing she was there to help. The protagonist fights because they know Togen's ways well, hinting at a personal stake. They share how Togen's arrival changed everything, showing how it hurt their village. Togen's promises of wealth and new tech replaced their old ways and led many astray. Determined not to lose again, the protagonist draws courage for the battle ahead. Feeling helpless without Wahora, they shout for someone to guide them, overwhelmed with doubt. Revived with new determination, they ask Amy for help and call everyone in for a fresh start. The show begins, taking the crowd by surprise as Miss Wahora's image appears before them. This animated vision holds everyone's attention, sparking curiosity and wonder. Declaring it as Miss Wahora's power, the protagonist urges others to follow their lead. Encouraged by their success, they share in the appreciation and newfound confidence. But the tension stays as rival supporters form nearby, keeping the air thick with rivalry. The opposing side boasts about their win, upping the pressure in the ongoing battle. Facing the crowd, the protagonist and Amy brace themselves as the rivals test their resolve. Anxiety rolls in, clouding their thoughts as they worry about what lies ahead. Sasha steps up to Amy, pointing out their flaws, but also leaving a glimmer of hope. Desperation fills the air as they beg for empathy and a miracle from Miss Wahora. Speaking to everyone, Amy stands firm even as the tension becomes harder to bear. Ghostly energies buzz around them, teasing the arrival of a mysterious power. Out of nowhere, the earth shakes, an eerie figure suddenly bursting forth. Fear grips the villagers as they recognize the menacing entity as an evil spirit. Someone remembers seeing something like this before in an old dusty album. The villagers are stuck, facing the huge Tengu slime they once admired. Even the Demon King knew about the Tengu slime's power, calling it a real threat. But when the Tengu slime was in control, it wasted resources, making the Demon King mad. When magic brought the Tengu slime back, its presence was hard to ignore. The villagers plan to use their magic energy to trap the slime again. They start to gather magic by melting clothes, but chaos interrupts them. A sudden change scatters them, leaving them without enough magic power. Realizing they can't succeed, they face what's coming. With the lava getting closer, panic sets in, and they yell for everyone to get out of there. Desperate, they try anything, until Miss Wahora suddenly arrives, ready to help. The demon faces the Tengu slime, preparing for a serious showdown. Miss Wahora scolds them for being slow, taking charge against the slime. As she readies her move, everyone wonders why they don't have enough magic energy. Miss Wahora explains what messed up their magic and starts drawing from them to fight back. The battle gets intense, and Miss Wahora tastes the power, getting ready to strike back. A massive attack is launched, leaving everyone stunned by its great power. The Tengu slime is finally brought down, and the villagers can't believe Miss Wahora's strength. Amazed, they praise Miss Wahora for her amazing power as she seals the slime away. While all this happens, Tody is still stuck, trapped by the lava, crying for help. With the heat too much to handle, the villagers think hard about how to put out the flames. Miss Wahora shows a strange tool, grabbing everyone's attention immediately. Easily, Wahora uses it to put out the fire, leaving everyone amazed. As the flames go out, the villagers talk excitedly about the miracle they saw happen. A burst of excitement fills the village with the start of a new religious movement. Mr. Tody feels overwhelmed and wants to return to his own world. He appreciates Wahora's protection, but struggles to adjust to life with this unusual religion. A villager calls out for everyone's support, creating a sense of urgency. Seeing Mr. Tody's distress, the group plans a celebration to raise his spirits. Nera promises to give her best, encouraging everyone to help Mr. Tody. Excitement builds as the villagers reveal their newly built church, a testament to their unity. Curious, the villagers invite Mr. Tody inside to explore more. Inside, a grand mural celebrates Miss Wahora and Mr. Tody, highlighting their role in the village. As the mural is explained, Mr. Tody feels disconnected from all the attention. The villagers urge him to embrace their efforts, showing off another mural just for him. A big reveal, slime armor for Miss Wahora, designed for safer travels. Mr. Tody gets a unique shield as his own form of protection. Villagers present Waho goods, including souvenirs and themed books. Despite all this, Mr. Tody feels even more downcast. Sensing the mood, Nera tries to comfort the villagers and save the situation. Nera attempts a confusing remedy that surprises everyone. Suddenly, Mr. Tody awakens, looking calm and radiant, claiming something divine has happened. Confusion spreads as Miss Wahora notices the toxins are gone. It's revealed Nera may have turned Mr. Tody's toxins into a poison slime. Miss Wahora invites Nera to join the Waho religion and their missionary work. Nera feels excited yet unsure by Miss Wahora's enthusiastic invitation. With encouragement from others, Nera agrees to help and lift the group's spirits. The group's enthusiasm boosts Nera's confidence as they plan their next move. They decide to head to the capital, and Nera humorously anticipates meeting royalty. Nera jokes about being brainwashed into their past excitement, while the group puzzles over why things changed so fast. They plan to hash it all out over dinner, hoping that will help keep the conversation on track. They propose a quiz show-style debate, with Miss Wahora as the judge to decide which ideas are best. First up, they tackle the topic of demons, still a big deal after what happened with Miss Wahora. Mr. Tody shares his mix of beliefs, painting Miss Wahora as both godly and demonic. Miss Wahora turns down Tody's pitch, though the disappointment is clear to all. Prediction magic gets funny as Tody figures out Miss Wahora's third eye shows approval. As they discuss ideas with some cosplay fun, the creative energy starts buzzing. Their banter about brainwashing and demons adds a dash of chaos and comedy. Introducing Waho Space as the next big thing, Nera shares this idea with excitement. Nera pitches Waho Space as an exclusive club for believers, leaving Mr. Tody looking puzzled. They mull over what it means to die without reincarnating, bringing up heaven and hell. Mr. Tody considers the many ways people think about the afterlife in his world. Nera's asked even more about Waho Space, revealing reincarnation tales are rare here. They cheerfully sketch out a playful picture of Waho Space, complete with childlike fun. Tody teases Nera's happy-go-lucky view, while Miss Wahora nods with approval. Amy shares her take on Waho Space, hinting it's a room with a quirky obsession. Miss Wahora turns to plans for punishments, getting ready to talk about treachery. Mixing humor with serious talk, they turn punishments into a fun game show theme. Brainwashing once again takes center stage, as a simple fix becomes an amusing debate. The debate heats up over food bans, tossing regulations aside, and agreeing to finish every meal. Miss Wahora gets behind the food rule, her zeal clear as day, but it's mostly about her love of food. With the rules locked in, they celebrate victory, and Nera earns praise for their big contributions. They caution Nera not to misuse the prize money, yet Nera dreams about the wind's bounty. Out of nowhere, something troubling clouds the happy mood of their meeting. Miss Wahora is shocked by an unexpected bill, confused why the accountant thinks it's justified. In disbelief, they argue over buffet costs, which they thought were all-inclusive from the start. Accused of eating the whole buffet, Nera's at the center of panic as their cash runs dry. Everyone is anxious, unsure how they'll handle the situation without powers to change things. In the middle of this, a stranger steps forward with unexpected help, waiving any fee, surprising everyone. As they press the stranger for answers, he drops a hint about the true cost of their battle, while snow quietly falls around them. Entering the city, the group is immediately swept up by the excitement around them. They can't help but marvel at the busy streets and lively atmosphere. The city's overwhelming size fills them with both wonder and eager anticipation. Amy, brimming with excitement, observes both the people and the countless shops surrounding her. Can't hold back their curiosity, they dive into exploring the area with enthusiasm. Each of them is captivated by the city's chaos, noticing something unique at every corner. They discuss why the city's location makes it a vital hub of trade and commerce. The thought of spreading Miss Wahora's influence throughout this influential city excites them. They weigh the welcome a new religion might receive against the established state faith. A stand full of sweet treats catches their eye, drawing them closer. As they enjoy the sugary delights, the richness amazes them. A vendor tries hard to sell them on a point card, though they seem uncertain. They pause, realizing the card is tied to entering a religion. The vendor rattles off a complex explanation about earning points through the religion. As tension rises, they wonder how religion and government connections might play a role. A follower nearby sighs about losing young members, making recruitment tougher. Reaching the central square, they eagerly gather more information. Surrounded on all sides by recruiters, they feel engulfed by the fervor of religious pitches. Amidst the chaos, everyone pushes hard to recruit new followers. A mysterious person shouts out, catching the crowd's attention. The buzz around religions grows as former Togen followers become key targets. Rumors spread that a new religion might take Togen's place as the official state religion. It's a boom time for religions, full of both opportunity and uncertainty. With odd proposals everywhere, people start to suspect hidden motives. An active group claims they have truths to reveal, but confusion mounts as officials step in. Amid the disorder, some commit to opposing what they see as heretical. Pressed by the crowd, they ponder the real reasons behind this chaos. Determined to expose a cult tied to demon worship, they make a firm vow. Catching their breath away from the chaos, they gather to decide their next steps in this city of swirling secrets. The team sets up their base in an old storehouse, ready to kick off the search for Miss Wahora. With tasks being assigned, Nera steps up eagerly, offering to lend a hand. They find a flyer recruiting new members, but something about it feels off. Showing the flyer around town, they only get puzzled looks from the locals. Locals defensively insist it's not a religious group, which just adds to the doubts. One leader talks about self-improvement, but it all seems messy, like a cult. Their strange outfits and offerings feel suspiciously religious, raising many eyebrows. Someone in the group quickly learns how best to turn down these odd invitations. The customs and language thrown at them are baffling, leaving one team member at a loss. They try to talk, but it's like everyone speaks in riddles, isolating them. Annoyance grows as locals boast superiority through their unusual practices. Upon seeing the group's smug attitude, anxiety rises over their sway. All rejection attempts fail miserably, so the protagonist plans to just keep away from them. Yet, they're still at a loss, worriedly searching for any hint of Miss Wahora. They start reflecting on the past, trying to make sense of this tricky situation. Trying to decode a cryptic image, they only get more frustrated with the lack of leads. A random, quirky survey shows up, causing even more distraction from their mission. Feeling cornered by nagging recruiters, the protagonist desperately looks for escape routes. Nera feels uneasy, hearing freaky predictions that only deepen the confusion. Those predictions get even weirder, forecasting an incredibly strange end. A strange Zocon allegiance suit is offered to Nera, claiming peaceful demise. But to get it, they have to peddle some sketchy medicine, which sounds fishy. Nera backs off, sticking with loyalty to their own beliefs. Hearing about their god, curiosity clashes with disbelief, fueling more skepticism. Mr. Tody shows up, steering Nera away from the unsettling situation. As they leave, they criticize cult tactics for taking advantage of people's vulnerabilities. They walk into an eerie chamber, welcomed by a strange, ongoing ritual. Mr. Tody cuts in, confused by what's transpiring all around them. In a desperate bid to locate Miss Wahora, a secret hidden power is suddenly unveiled. To everyone's shock, necromancy is revealed, showing just how far they're willing to go for the truth. Amy, now exposed with her hidden talent, admits she kept it quiet, leaving the others stunned. The group buzzes nervously, unsure if Amy's newfound power will really pinpoint Miss Wahora's location in this tense setting. Suddenly, a vision of a huge castle breaks through, hinting that's where Miss Wahora might be, spurring their urgency. As the meal kicks off, jokes about eating habits spark a round of laughter. Curiosity piques about the true nature of the church's so-called god. Friction surfaces, but playful tones keep the real tension at bay. Suddenly, everyone realizes the god's cuteness is hard to deny. Confusion rises as the god's quirky behavior leaves observers baffled. Despite the charm, there's unease about the god's potential for chaos. An unexpected hug turns the chaotic moment into quite a spectacle. But urgency builds as the audience with the royals draws near. Speculation swirls over the king's true nature as they enter the hall. A wave of excitement greets the king, adding unexpected tension. The king's confident grin makes onlookers uneasy, both impressed and wary. Yet laughter fades as the king's authority shushes the crowd. Questions about religious loyalty fuel the royal court's confusion. An argument erupts, accusing guests of lying about the state religion. Concerns about looming chaos are voiced, and eyes turn to the king. The king ponders the challenges of managing possible unrest. He considers how the Togen religion helps keep his influence strong. Fear grows over needing force to maintain support as control slips. A new face stirs doubts about her loyalty, adding suspicion. Suddenly, a loud crash cuts through the tense talks. Trouble looms. Chaos erupts as news spreads of bandits sneaking into the castle. Amid the chaos, calls for safety compete with a shocking discovery. Strange figures emerge, tying themselves to the Waho faith. A showdown over dark magic begins, revealing necromancy's power use. Panic spikes when no one knows where Miss Wahora really is. Accusations fly over her disappearance, straining the group's unity. Rumors of brainwashing and necromancy spread, unsettling the few left. A strange smoke fills the room, stirring nostalgic feelings amid chaos. Miss Wahora's mysterious disappearance raises panic, but they have one choice: to flee. With chaos spreading fast, they commit to retreating before it's too late. Stumbling into guards, they quickly apologize, worried about being blamed for more. Faced with a wild accusation of kidnapping the king, they desperately insist they're innocent. Locked up in a tight cellar, the group senses the unrest shaking the prison walls. They receive supplies for their pets, making the whole situation feel even more surreal. A new cellmate appears with a shady past in fortune-telling, making everyone suspicious. Mimi, the newcomer, feels out of place, leaving everyone scratching their heads. Suddenly, a fish-like torturer shows up, demanding the group's knowledge of the king's whereabouts. His threats make the air thick with urgency, but they genuinely have no clue. The group is given a weird ordeal involving a hellhound, pushing them to their limits. Things get stranger as they're forced to face a challenging test as a form of torture. Once the torturer steps out to get more tools, the pressure doesn't ease up. Left alone, they can't help but puzzle over their ridiculous situation. With eyes on Mimi, they probe her involvement, still worried about Miss Wahora and the king. Mimi admits she's with the Zokon fundamentalist cult, stirring up the tension even more. She eagerly offers to explain the cult's beliefs, even though they clearly don't want it. Mimi claims the world thrives only thanks to Zokon-sama, dismissing other faiths entirely. Frustrated, Amy snaps, overwhelmed by Mimi's unshakable loyalty. Accusations fly about the cult's sinister side, stoking the already heated atmosphere. Amy points out the cult's intense tactics and their violent actions. One person leans toward adapting to change, not sticking to old-fashioned beliefs. The group doubtingly wonders if Mimi's cult is behind Wahora and the king's disappearance. Confusion rises as they consider the tussle between the Togen religion and Mimi's bunch. They dig into the Togen religion, noting its manipulative streak and tendency to spark conflicts. Everyone rolls their eyes at the church selling Apollo gems to wipe away sins. Just as they grumble about these gems, a tremor suddenly shakes the ground. From the dust and noise emerges a figure, grabbing everyone's careful gaze. Doridori Tsuchiya steps forward with a mysterious smile, greeting them warmly. She states her purpose to save them, and curiously asks about Mimi. They quickly discuss whether to bring Tody's people, thinking about their ties with the Zokon cult. In the chaos of escaping, they make sure their pets are part of the escape plan. Guards hear alarming noises echoing through the prison, sparking fear of an unexpected disturbance. Their stern focus breaks as playful pets scamper past, catching the guards off guard. Amidst the chaos, prisoners seize the moment to break free, leaving bewildered guards pointing fingers at one another. Emotions flood in with tears of relief, but they're reminded to stay strong and keep moving as they race to freedom. The group regathers, hatching a plan to stay one step ahead of anyone who might chase them. The group gets back home, breathing a sigh of relief, yet the oddness of their family lingers in the back of their minds. As they delve into the underground temple, the ancient ties to Zokon-sama start to weave an even deeper mystery. The founder happily greets Mimi, but her thoughts twist around the veracity of the tales she's heard. A shocking truth unfolds when the smaller figure is uncovered, leaving everyone wide-eyed. Gratitude washes over Mr. Tody for his pivotal role in their escape plan. Accusations fly amid the pandemonium, sparking tension as the group grapples with chaos. The truth spills out as confessions of the king's abduction leave the group stunned. The absurdity climbs higher when they see the king and Wahora being used for strange training. Despair mixes with curiosity over Wahora's luxury, even while in captivity. The group realizes they're ensnared in the cult's extreme plans and sees no easy way out. They face bizarre demands for citizens to join camps, revealing the true extent of the madness. Suddenly it hits them. These camps are really just elaborate brainwashing schemes. Determined not to succumb, they barely make the decision to leave before it's too late. The group ignores relentless pleas to stick around longer, as the urgency to escape intensifies. They feel the pressure mounting with every moment, worried about the knights hot on their trail. The danger escalates as knights' accusations rise while they hunt for the missing king. Stumbling upon an underground altar becomes their brief sanctuary. A step into the unknown, the room fills them with an awe-inspiring sense of the divine. A likeness of Wahora in idol form grabs their attention, sparking their curiosity further. As they uncover yet another significant idol, they sense a deeper mystery to tackle. Tension spikes when an idol unexpectedly calls out Wahora's name, chilling their hearts. The group is left bewildered when they learn the idol is just a stand-in, not the true form. They come to grips with the hard truth that Wahogami-sama and Zokon-sama stand petrified before them. An uneasy worry sets in among them as they confirm Wahora-sama's petrification with their own eyes. A mighty figure greets their arrival, claiming them as incarnations, catching them off guard. With dramatic flair, the figure heralds the release of their power through resurrection. The intent to reincarnate everything leaves the group in utter disbelief and confusion. Reflecting quietly, one character muses over recent shocking revelations about their planet. Surprise and admiration mix on a character's face as they process the scene. Amy struggles to understand why her world feels like a story from a book. A big, intimidating figure accuses them of protecting something evil, growing more impatient. This giant declares a dream of a fantastical world, leaving everyone puzzled. With fierce determination, they promise to dismantle every obstacle personally. A sharp voice cuts through, poking fun at this over-the-top spectacle. Frustration boils as the figure questions their boldness, testing everyone's will. Mr. Tody, utterly flabbergasted, hears the figure claim a divine connection. A side-splitting comparison adds a touch of humor, keeping their mission on track. The divine entity asks for power to end reincarnation, a deal they must consider. Things get chaotic as they debate how to grant this power, with no clear answer. Summoning courage within, they prepare to give Wahora the strength needed. Sasha feels the weight of responsibility, wondering what role they must play. With clarity from Wahora, they realize the urgency of lending their power. A spirited song fills the air, bringing everyone together in unison. The crowd chants along, their enthusiasm infectious and spirits high. Tody feels drained as his power is shared, yet his resolve is unwavering. A symbol ignites with energy, setting the stage for an essential move. Determined, Wahora unleashes a strong technique to turn the tide in their favor. The action unfolds, relying on their pooled energy and sharp concentration. At last, the seal is completed, signaling a hard-won victory. Cheers erupt from the crowd, as Wahora's efforts shine brightly. Wahora is hugged tightly while announcing they've sealed away the delusion god. The crowd is reminded of how natural it is to look for divine help when trouble hits. Still, they stress real success comes from personal effort and good choices. Laughter rings out as Wahora receives friendly teasing, keeping spirits light and hopeful. Confusion and chuckles follow when Tody gets compared to snacks out of nowhere. They share a moment of thanks, grateful for Wahora's support in the struggle. Surprise fills the air as Wahora is warmly praised for their divine assistance. Wahogami gives Tody the chance to go back to his old world. It's a surprising offer. Tody stands shocked, hearing that he could live without the Waho religion. Tension fills the air as everyone waits to hear what Tody will decide. In a flashback, Tody remembers when stories of reincarnation used to mesmerize him. His friend excitedly asks if he really buys into those fantastical tales. With a gentle smile, Tody nods, showing his faith in the unbelievable. The scene shifts to a festival where Tody happily waves to a cheering crowd. Playful skits bring out the fun and silliness of the festival. Lively drawings continue to showcase the festival's buzzing atmosphere. Funny details about the festival goers keep everyone entertained. Cultural nods add an extra touch of flair to the colorful party. The chapter wraps up with a character standing proudly atop a box. A lighthearted joke is made, leaving Tody's friend both amused and confused. Please support the official release.